Trump 2028. I hope this never ends. When he asks, what should you do if a Russian jet flies into your country? Shoot it down. God bless you, President Trump, for standing up in the UN and telling the world the way it is. We don't have to live this way. We don't have to live with the Europe that's buying Russian oil at the time we're all trying to stop the war with Russia and Ukraine. So I hope he runs again.
Yes, I hope he runs again. I hope, damn the Constitution, screw the Constitution. And look, a lot of Republicans are long done with the Constitution. Let's be clear about that. But let's also be clear about why Lindsey Graham is done with the Constitution, is ready for Donald Trump to be king for life. Here it specifically is because Donald Trump, it's 24 hours, has this new thing where he's like, yeah, Russia's made me so mad that now I want Ukraine to conquer them or whatever. I don't think that's a thing that's gonna last a day or two or three. But for now, think about how happy that must make a Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is one of the biggest war hawks in the federal government. And now Donald Trump, who sometimes postures as being anti-war, but then he also like unilaterally attacks Iran and threatens to invade Greenland and Venezuela and Brazil and all sorts of places. So it's sort of a mixed picture there. Now you have Donald Trump indicating, even if just for a day, to a person like Lindsey Graham, yeah, maybe we'll get involved. Maybe we will go to war with Russia on behalf of Ukraine. And I think that Lindsey Graham is very much getting ahead of himself here, but that's why he's decided to turn his back on our constitutional republic. And oh man, he is Trump's biggest fan right now. He tweeted, my take on President Trump's address tonight, inspiring, funny, compelling, and the Democrats' worst nightmare, Trump 2028. Okay. Yes, he's great. He's great. Why is Graham really so happy about this? Partly it's the Ukraine thing, partly that it was really an open question as to whether Donald Trump would endorse Lindsey Graham in his reelection bid. And he did get that actually a little bit earlier. He said that Trump's endorsement means the world to me. I am humbled by his faith in me as a senator and as a friend. Which, yes, Lindsey Graham, take any opportunity you can to imply that Trump has lots of faith in you in either of those areas. As we'll get into, he's been very clear in his disrespect towards you historically. But anyway, this is a thing that people like Lindsey Graham do. They'll occasionally posture like they're gonna have a backbone and stand against Donald Trump, and then they fall in line. Particularly if they get the endorsement that they want, because their political power, the continuation of their career is so very much more important than our Constitution being respected. And so Sharon, we can get to that video if you want, but what do you make of Lindsey Graham?
He's gross. I mean, I get it when it comes to politicians, everything is transactional, but there used to be a time, not even that long ago, that maybe this might, I mean, there was like 10%, 8%, I'll say, where they were somewhat authentic. But now he wants to play golf and sit in his Senate office and sip sweet tea at Paula Deen's restaurant. Is that still open? It's just, he's so gross, calling for an end to the Constitution, basically, and saying, run again. Run again. It's just, he's so gross.
It's gross. And he at one point was freed up to point out how terrible and gross Donald Trump was. So we're gonna end the segment with a little recap of how they've spoken about each other in the past.
This guy, Lindsey Graham, you have a guy, he's one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen. He runs against me, okay? He runs against me for president. He starts off at 6% and he hits me. And I start, although I did give out his phone number, I mean, that's right. But anyway, he starts hitting me, saying vicious things, and now he starts going down. He goes to 5%, 4%. He ends up at zero. Here's a guy running for the presidency, he's at zero. He leaves in disgrace, in my opinion. I think he's disgraced.
I'm not going to try to get into the mind of Donald Trump because I don't think there's a whole lot of space there. I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office. And I'm a Republican and he's not. He's not a conservative Republican, he's an opportunist.
And Lindsey Graham was actually right there. Now, of course, he's sucking up, he's kissing his ass and everything. But back before he needed Donald Trump's support, he was able to be honest about Donald Trump. And I'm gonna end with just one more thing. That first video of Trump talking about Graham, that was from 2016. Anyone else notice how much faster Donald Trump used to speak? I mean, it's blathering nonsense or whatever, but he would get it out quickly. He could move from one thing to another. he's doing what he now calls the weave or whatever. But now the weave is so much lower energy and he gets distracted and he used to be put together better, and that was less than a decade ago.